So hello everyone, I'm Tofu and welcome back to Animal Crossing via my western themed island of Californea. So today we're going to be doing a build video and let's jump over to the area that we're building in. So it's just behind the Saloon build that I did previously and I've done a lot. So as you can see there's plenty of codes down on the floor and a little bit of terraforming as well. But first of all, I wanted to do this little bit behind the saloon and just kind of extend the saloon a little bit. So we are going to make kind of the indoor room, if you will. It's only going to be like a small section, so it's not going to be too massive. Obviously I've put the wood planks down so you can see exactly where the perimeter will be. But yeah, I just wanted like a small space to kind of show off what the saloon would be like. I know a lot of people kind of tend to do this on their islands and things, like especially if you do things like libraries or laundromats, you know, things like that. So I kind of wanted to do something in a similar vein, and yeah, just make it look all cool. I am having to make sure that I put the storefronts the right way around because they're, yeah, a bit notorious with me and putting it down the wrong way, and it's always a bit of a struggle. But we're going to have the indoor saloon obviously be in the wood space. Don't mind these pits for now, I'll explain them later. I do love the codes though. Obviously, like I always do, any codes that I have used will be in the description below, so feel free to check out the creator and yeah, peruse at your own leisure. We're going to have this little space just down at the bottom here where you can actually enter the saloon. Cool, so obviously the path leads up to it. We've got plenty of these simple panels, so I'm going to be putting them down. I have actually got some meters and pipes which I meant to put down just in this corner, so we'll just do that now. But yeah, obviously this being the western themed island and the very start of the island, like when you come through the entrance and obviously you turn right to come to the front of the saloon, that's where it's kind of nice in the town, and then the town starts to really kind of start to become disheveled. Like it was a mining town, so like during its prosperous days the people came and rushed over to this island looking for gold, the valuable metals, etc, etc, and they mined it to the ground. Forgive the pun. And yeah, it just turned into this derelict kind of hellhole if you will. But yeah, there's going to be few buildings. Obviously it's going to be quite a dilapidated looking place eventually, but we're still kind of on the somewhat nice side. Obviously we've got these fantastic looking whiskey bottles and various other alcohols. I just love this design. Things like this, really cool in my opinion. Anyway, let's put down these reception counters, which will be the bar. And as I'm sure anyone that's watched my videos before will already know this, but anyone that's new, I do kind of work off of reference photos. So I do the build entirely and then I completely dismantle the build, take photos obviously, and then work off of my phone, which is right in front of me. And yeah, bear with me because I'm struggling to put this antique cash register down in the way that I would like. But we've got plenty of decorative bottles as well, as you would imagine, with it being, you know, a saloon, a bar. Make sure I drop that and not put it down. Fantastic. And naturally we're going to have some barrels. I love the pirate barrel just because it's a little bit different from the previous one, with this one. But obviously the skull and crossbones is a little bit kind of foreboding, a little bit menacing. I mean, it does kind of work, obviously, with this being the terrible place to live that it will be. But yeah, I want to kind of hide that for now. And I spent ages looking for a table that I thought would fit, and I couldn't find anything that I really liked. And so I ended up just getting these antique tables. I think they're alright. Naturally, being a saloon, you've got to have somewhere to play cards. Random little cactus just when you come in, because why not? And I've got another antique table, so you just about see that. I want the wood grain kind of that way. We'll put the cards there. Cool. Something I didn't think about would be music, so I do need to try and find maybe like a jukebox or, you know, a gramophone, whatever they're called, put it in the corner and have some ye olde country type tune playing. But for now, I do have a little bit of set decoration just around this side, so let's quickly do that. And then I guess we'll grab some more items and work on the rest of this area. You may have noticed I do have a incline kit in my pocket as well, so I will be doing that, and that will become a land bridge. I've definitely placed these wrong, so I'm going to just pick them up. Yeah, I wanted them a lot closer, so cool. So just a couple more wheat fields. Cool, that's exactly what I wanted. So here we obviously have the saloon at the front. So we'll just quickly go into the camera mode so I can show it off. So fantastic. Obviously it looks like that, and that was my previous build on this island. And then you run around the back and you can get a little snapshot as to what the saloon would actually be. And this will be where Tiffany does her cabaret dancing when she eventually comes onto the island. And I do want Gabby to also become onto the island, and she'll be the saloon owner, so I'll make sure that her house goes relatively close, probably on the beach somewhere. But yeah, obviously we have this, which will become a land bridge, so it will stop you from going into these various pits that have been mined out for whatever. Mumsy did say that she thinks they look like oil pits or tar pits, something like that, and I kind of like that idea, that it's not just a complete, you know, deep cavernous hole. They've then kind of been filled with this like pollution or something like that, and so even more reason to not go into those areas. But anyway, I digress. Let's grab some more furniture and carry on with this build. Okay, so I'm back for the time being. We're going to be working on this little section here, which will be another fake building. So let's just quickly throw down some items on the top, just so that obviously once I block it in, you know, I won't be able to access it, so it makes sense to do the items here first. And I do like the idea of just throwing down like the odd bits of money or coins and things. Kind of gives that, I don't know, a little bit seedy kind of look. It's like, what are you doing throwing your money up there, you know? Like, why would you have money up there? It's like kind of safekeeping, but not really, because it's still in the open. But anyway, it's another rambling. I wanted this little bit of scaffolding over here because I think it makes sense. It's like the building kind of got like become derelict and a little bit run down, and then obviously they've done all this mining and created these holes or like tar pits, like we said. And yeah, it's just really not a good time. But there we go. I have a couple of retro transportation stops, so just to try and mix it up a little bit. This is definitely one of those items that I'm notorious for putting the wrong way. I love using them for buildings, but I always forget that the seat kind of faces you as you place it down, so you have to almost do it the opposite way to where you want it to be. There we go, I'll just push them forward. Or up, I should say. And then we have the storefront as well, which is another one of my favourite items, especially when it comes to making fake buildings. I'm pretty sure it's just like everyone's like go-to when it comes to fake buildings. They're such a good item. I might end up pushing that just a little bit forward, but we'll see. No, you know what? I'm happy with that. So we do have a pirate barrel, again just a little bit of set dressing, and I love just the different colour compared to the previous barrel that you can make with the DIY recipes. I do have some trash bags as well somewhere right in front of it. Cool. Again, giving that kind of bit of derelict feeling. But now we have some corrugated iron fence. I do have an iron frame which I want to live in this little section here, so just before I fence this area off. Again, really kind of giving the impression that this is, or was certainly, an area that they were working on. So there will be random bits of equipment and things just dotted around. And now we've got our fence, our trusty corrugated iron fence, which I love so much, and I love mixing up the I guess the rusty variant and then the grey variant. Not only is it a nice kind of just switch of colour, but it really gives that impression that like it's been left, and obviously, you know, it's gone rusty. People don't particularly care for it, and yeah, really goes with that kind of theme of just decay and things becoming a bit derelict. I obviously put that in the wrong place, so let's quickly grab that again, plonk it up here. Cool. So now obviously we have that little bit sectioned off. I do plan to put stairs here, and that should stop you from entering this, or eventually this little pocket here as well, but we'll do the stairs right at the end. I do have a few more items just around, so menu chalkboard, that's actually meant to be for our saloon here, so we'll do that. Obviously, I don't want the actual menu to be shown because that looks far too nice. And then we've got a couple of trash bags, oil barrel, and a sideways pirate barrel as well. So I guess we'll put the trash bags immediately behind the menu, and then sideways pirate barrel. Cool, yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll put the oil barrel immediately behind that. Hopefully that bug got out of the way. Let's just push that a little bit closer. So again, the saloon actually looks alright, it looks kind of nice, but there's just little hints of it, like having a bit of a trash kind of core aesthetic, I guess, just around it as well. Yeah, that's cool. So now we're just going to gather the various materials and furniture, etc. that I'm going to plonk around these pits, whether they be tar or just abyss. Who knows? That's for you guys to decide, I guess. But another jump cut. See you in 2 seconds. Okay, so final stretch. And this is quite the small build, so yeah, you'll have to forgive me if this is quite a short one. But, you know, it all adds to the atmosphere of the island. Just little bits here and there. And while I'm in the mood to build, it makes sense to obviously do something like this. Obviously mixing up our fence, we're going to make it so that villagers just can't really get onto this section. Unfortunately, I won't be able to fence it off properly from the beach side, so they will technically be able to get onto this, but for the most part, we're really trying to block it off. To make sure that, you know, they can't get to it. Right, I want an item there, so that's going to be a cactus, again, just blocking off that little gap. And I do love these cacti. Just such a good item. Obviously, makes a lot of sense in the desert themes. And again, just mixing up the fencing a little bit so it's not all the corrugated iron. It would help if I could place it down where I wanted it to. But there we go. Again, barbed wire just gives that nice little hint of menace as well, doesn't it? Just so good. Right, let's move on to some items. So we're going to put it on these kind of quote-unquote cliffs. And the barrel, I thought because it's the sideways barrel, it makes a nice item and kind of blocks off this little space. So if I was technically able to block off the beach, then this also would be able to be blocked off. So no one's going to jump between the two little bits of land and fall to their demise. Anyway, we've got the decayed tree, another one of my favourite items when it comes to the whole kind of left to be abandoned type theme, like just general decay and things becoming nasty. Yeah, there's plenty of items that allow you to do this in New Horizons, which I love. It's just, yeah, so good. Not everything's always like super cute. You can have like some real unique and yeah, nasty looking islands. But it's all good. It's all good. Obviously, it's part of the creative process, and a lot of people just have so many good ideas when it comes to Animal Crossing and what they want to do with their islands. And yeah, I think it's amazing that you get to be able to kind of express that in your own way. Just plonked a cricket down because I love the noise that they make, and obviously the cages are kind of cute. I do have a couple of wheat fields that I need to put down in various places, so where are they? Okay, so they're actually going to be around this section, so I guess I'll do the rest of the stuff first, because yeah, like I've said plenty of times before, I do like to try and put things in order of how they are built. So I guess we'll go with that. Hopefully that doesn't block off the stairs when I eventually put it, but you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right, like that. I'm leaving the gap just because I've got an item and a bush that I want to put in those spaces. So we're going to have a bush in this space here. The hibiscus. And we're going to plonk down the safety barrier. So technically there is access, you could easily just move this as opposed to, you know, trying to climb the barbed wire fence. But yeah, again, it's just there as like a precaution, so you're not really meant to go in this area unless you're meant to be working. And I really like the whole, I guess, idea of this like little island that's been left. And I'm going to use an item that I don't think I've ever used before in any island. That, once I get there, will be the scorpion model. It's such a good model, like such a good item. I've just never had a need to use it because, well, I've always made kind of cutesy islands, and honestly, that scorpion's kind of terrifying. It's just so big. The sting on its tail looks so menacing. But yeah, I think it's very fitting for this kind of island. I might have to grab a couple more. Right, obviously a cave. Self-explanatory, but let's just try and push it. Cool, so it looks like the cave is what's left on that little Periprus? Is that the word that I want? But yeah, the little stick out bit land, fantastic. And we should just have wheat fields left. Oh, there's a few other little bits and bobs, but okay. So, let's see. I want a wheat field to go kind of back here where you can see it. Fantastic. I guess I want a wheat field kind of behind the oil barrel. Maybe half a tile up. Again, I want it to be seen. Yeah, something like that. And then we should have the fencing, which again, should just kind of be something like this. I'll add another wheat field just in front of the oil barrel here, so it almost gives the illusion that you can't get in there. Obviously you can't. You would be able to squeeze through there if you really wanted to in real life, but Animal Crossing, you know, everyone's got a thick body and head, so it's a little bit harder. And then we've got just the odd little bit, so we'll throw down a weed kind of here. I should have a leaf campfire, this one, which again I really like just because it's on fire, and again gives that little element of kind of danger and that people don't care too much. I've also got a hay bed and a termite mound, so a termite mound will live in this little corner here. Probably put it out so you can see it a little bit better. And the hay bed. Where did I want that? That's the question. It's obviously not going to be seen there. Maybe it's meant to be in this little space here, because obviously I've done the path. The photo I've taken isn't the best angle, but it was the only way I could kind of get that to go, so I assume it's here. Obviously the colour doesn't help either, so you walk on the path, you can get past the campfire, so yeah, I think that's perfect. Right, so the only thing that is left now is to sort out these stairs, so I'm going to pay them off. Obviously we'll jump cut to the next day when they're both in, and I'll show it off, so see you in 2 seconds. Okay, so I've pushed forward a couple of days and both the inclines are now in, so let's show them off in its glory. I did get a little bit worried because I was really pushing my funds, and so I didn't actually think I had enough money to like basically pay them off, which would have been a real pain because I would have had to either get my other Switch and then, you know, transfer over some money, or just grind out some money by like catching fish, bugs, sea creatures, etc. But yeah, this is obviously our little land bridge, so it's not the most safe thing in the world. Obviously you've just got these open edges that you could fall into the abyss, into your demise, your doom. But there we go. I wanted it to feel very precarious. I was thinking about putting some of the rusty fences to kind of make like this handrail, but I couldn't quite make it work with my vision with these obviously pits, and yeah, having it just seem that precarious. And so guys, I'm going to call today's episode here. Thank you so much for watching this build. Hopefully I'm nailing the aesthetic, the kind of dishevelled western town that we're trying to go for. If you enjoyed, please hit like and consider subscribing if you haven't done already. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. But until next time, I'll say a massive thank you. And of course, have a good one. Cheers guys!